I'm expecting a big year out of Jalen Hurts and the offense. AJ Brown, I had the opportunity to talk to AJ. I was like, man, has anyone ever told you like a faster Anquan?
Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's huge compliment right
liking
there.
that praise right there. Yeah. Go to Torrey. Is that what we're doing?
Torrey's driving down the highway, and
okay.
I told Torrey, I said, dude, I don't want you, down in the ditch somewhere trying to mess with us while you're driving.
Yes.
So, hopefully we have his audio.
We'll just go some audio. All right,
let's do audio. Yeah.
Torrey, you there, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, man.
What's up,
Torrey, what's up with you, bro?
What's going on? See, it feels good to hear y'all's voice.
No question.
Likewise, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you hopping on with us, man. I know you were down there at the NovaCare complex today for which I guess the last day of what technically training camp before they go to the dual practice out in Cleveland. Just give me your impressions of what you saw and what was your role? Were you just there to hang out, just kind of get reacclimated with everybody, or were you there giving some instruction? What was your role today?
My role today was just being a fan and a family member. I had the opportunity. I realized it was the last practice publicly, and being that I'm on the other side of the fence with you guys in the media, I wanted to make sure it's very clear that they don't think that I'm trying to know a little more. They always open the doors, and they always welcome me with open arms. But took some of my friends on down and wanted to check out the guys, and they look great. I love what I saw out of the offense. I love what I saw out of the newcomers as well. I think I'm expecting a big year out of Jalen Hurts and the offense. AJ Brown, I had the opportunity to talk to AJ. I was like, man, has anyone ever told you like a faster Anquan?
Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's huge compliment right there.
Liking that praise right there. Yeah.
His build. I mean, he's huge. He's huge. And I looked at him, and I spent my first couple of years in this league next to Anquan Bolden every single day. And the minute I walked in that field, I was like, he's a more explosive Anquan, and that says a lot because I think Anquan's a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah,
but I just watching him move and the way they can use him, there's so many different things that he can do. A huge pickup for the team, and I'm excited to watch him work.
Hey, Torrey, what do you think about the way these guys? I mean, you're not that far removed from the game. What do you think about the way these guys practice nowadays? Man, 58 minutes here, $130 there. That's barely enough time to warm up.
I mean, I actually like it. I like it from a sense of, and it's going to be new. I know you're an old school cat, so you got to hear me
That's
out.
Right.
My answer.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Uh-oh.
Oh, Torrey, did we lose you?
Oh, we lost you.
Oh, we got you now. We got you now, man. Yeah, we lost you for a minute there.
Yeah, I'm here. To me, what I've learned is that you and I both can play receiver, right? I may be able to handle 60 plays in a practice. You may only be able to handle 40. And for so long, we've been programmed to believe that all practice lengths and durations and time, what you need is equal for everyone. That's not the case. So that's why I believe so many guys have soft tissue injuries from overworking. Now that they have the sports science behind it to back it up, it just makes more sense. And so while that practice may not be enough for a workhorse that needs more or wants more, in the long term, based on what we know about science, it's going to work. So now you're putting more responsibility on the player to know their assignments, to be able to go out there and execute, because physically they should be in a great place. And I think they look fast to me. They practice very well. They look great today on both sides of the ball. It was the type of work that you want in camp. And if you told me that the practice was only 90 minutes, which is about what it was, I would have never known it based on the type of work and the speed of what they were practicing. And what we also have to learn about a longer duration of practice is that longer doesn't mean better.
Yes.
What I mean by that, if guys are just slugging around the last couple of periods and flopping around and having bad technique and putting themselves at a higher risk of injury, sometimes there's such things as diminishing returns on the football field as well. And I think we're at a place where coaches are starting to figure that out and teams are starting to adjust.
You're absolutely right, man. And I turned the corner also as far as, that, talking to these guys, the efficiency of which they go through it, man. But, speak to me about what you saw in the coaching staff. How do you like that coaching staff as compared to what you've had throughout your career?
I've said it since day one when I had the opportunity to first come around. I love the coaching. I spent probably 5 minutes talking to Coach Sirianni today. I love what he's trying to bring. I knew when he came in right away, a lot of fans were kind of concerned because he was new and some of his strategies that he uses to get guys to compete may be different to some. But I love the culture that he felt. That energy around the locker room in the building with the families. I was watching him with his kids. I mean, the two best teams that I've been a part of were the Eagles and the Ravens. And it had that same type of energy before you even step on the field. And to see that culture there, to see the way guys were practicing. I was telling my friends, I was like, and I told Devontae Smith too, I was like, man, you're a pro. Just watching him finish, watching Lane doing the extra work, watching Brandon Graham after practice, 15, 20 minutes, putting the work in, right? If you were driving by, and sometimes you can peek through that little dark tent. They were still practicing or not, because it was that many people on the field afterwards trying to get extra work in. And I think it goes to show what they're trying to do as a team, and I think it's going to pay off.
That's really interesting. That's encouraging because we talk about that, guys putting the work in afterwards, Torrey. That's awesome. But speaking of Sirianni and sort of the vibe you get, I'm sure you keep a close eye on this. You saw when in the preseason game when Jalen Hurts got cheap shotted on the sideline. You saw players come to his defense, but you also saw Sirianni blow a gasket. And I loved it personally. But what's your take on the way he reacted after Hurts got hit like that?
I mean, you love to see the passion, out of your coach in any situation. You want to have your guys back. That was a nasty hit. Everyone wants to try to prove they belong and earn their spot. So never try to be disrespectful in that way, but keep it between the lines. Had that hit have been, 2 yards before, 3 yards before, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But you have to be able to take care of your guys, and that was a dirty shot. And I love it. I love that energy, and the team needs to know that you're willing to go to war for them as well.
Hey, Torrey, can you talk about how Jalen has handled the pressure of all the scuttlebutt around him? What is he? What isn't he? And I said he is the consummate poker player because when you hear him speak, his demeanor never changes. I think he handles every situation well above his 24 years of age.
He does. He's again another pro. I feel like no matter what happens, and honestly I felt this way since he was in college. No matter what happens to him, he's going to be okay. And I think that's the kind of demeanor that you have to have in a city, especially like Philadelphia. Y'all know.
Yep. Yes. Oh yeah.
Y'all know.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to be sure of yourself even when everyone else isn't. And I think that's a strength of his and his leadership style. Everyone really buys into him. You can tell his teammates love him. You can tell it's authentic. Everyone wants people to be leaders, but sometimes it's super fake and phony, and people can tell. And I think the way he leads is just natural. And he's throwing the ball extremely well. And I think I'm expecting a big year out of him. I think Howie deserves his credit as well. Listen to where we were, for the last season or two. Everyone was complaining about weapons and, the offensive line and what
absolutely
around them. And here we are. I was talking to Howard Eskin about it. I'm like, there aren't many teams, and really Baldy too. I'm like, there aren't many teams that really can say they have a chance this time of year. Everyone has that false optimism in camp because it's new and it's fresh. But the reality of it is there's probably only 8 to 10 teams that really stand a chance in any given year. Yeah. And I'm comfortable saying the Eagles fit into that mold because of what they've done this offseason, because of how they're working right now, and because how their leadership can potentially push them through. So I'm looking forward to watching it, and I believe Jalen's going to take that next step this year.
Can you
Valid.
Exactly. So would you rank? Give me a ranking of the NFC East. How do you think they're going to go throughout this year? What would you say the Eagles, where they rank on it? And go down the rest of the NFC East.
It'd be tough for me to do a true ranking because I saw Washington up close. I saw Philly up close. I think Dallas is always going to be a front runner. They're never going to be there when it matters the most, but they'll be there in the beginning of the year. And to me, I think it's so neck and neck, and that's the way it should be.
Right.
I'm not comfortable telling you, hey, the Eagles are going to win this division, right? Because the division is so competitive every single year. So the question isn't, are they going to win it, or do they? Well, I guess the real question is, do they have the ability to win it? And that's yes. They have all of the tools to get it done. And I think they have the tools and the people there to really make that stretch run. Because you look at it, no team improved over this offseason more than the Eagles. Dallas got worse. Got worse.
Right.
Yep.
Dallas got worse. Washington added, my guy Carson Wentz. So I believe they got better, and he looked great. When I was able to see him in practice. And the Giants are just the Giants at this point. So to me, it's a 3-team race right now. And I think Philadelphia has to feel great about where they're sitting right now.
Hey, Torrey, you said you got a chance to watch Washington. What did you think about what you saw from their offense, in particular Carson Wentz?
Carson looked great when I was there. He's still learning the offense and picking it up, but he made some big-time plays. I'll tell you, my biggest surprise on offense was Jahan Dotson.
Oh, man.
I had no clue. Now, I saw what he did to Maryland. So I was at the Maryland-Penn State game last year. you know I love my Terps. However, you also know that on draft day, I said exactly during that game, I was like, yep, this is going to be his draft day highlight when he gets drafted next year. And that's exactly what happened. But that cat was making plays all over the field. They in the short game, but what stood out to me the most, his ability to track and catch the ball. You're thinking because he's not 6'2", he's not 6', he plays big. Like, he's going to have a major role in that offense, and I think he's really going to surprise some people.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Hey, Torrey, talk to me through a receiver's prism, the way you look at it. What is A.J. Brown going to bring to this team?
He's going to bring – it's not really necessarily a thunder and lightning combination because Smith does everything. Right. I still think even with A.J. Brown in this roster, they have 2 number 1 receivers.
Yep.
They have 2 number 1 receivers. Everyone likes them. I hate calling people label numbers and all of that. The reality of it is kill you ball. And both of these 2 are amongst the best in the league. And so watching them, I really feel like A.J. is going to be the one that's able to be that physical presence. So what you gain from having 2 people that other teams have to respect is that you can't double team everyone. You're going to have more one-on-one matchups. It's going to open up things more in the running lane because you have to respect both of them down the field. I saw both of them today caught passes down the field. And AJ was just bullied his way down the field, and both his safety in the corner failed. It would have been a touchdown in the game. And, just watching those guys go at it, that combination together, it's something that hopefully is here to stay in Philly for a long time, but this duo has a chance to be really special.
When you look at what they have and going into this, to this season, and I see how they can open this offense up, man. You got a guy like Dallas Goedert, and his ability to go out there and roam around the middle of the field. How do you stop a team that's this well balanced, as they go forward? Because that Jalen Hurts is going to be able to run, but now he's opening up. Now he can pass now also. How do they go forward right now? They divvy up. There's not enough footballs out there for the amount of weapons that they have.
Well, I think that's the goal, right? I've been a part of 2 Super Bowl teams. And both of these teams, we had no receivers go over 1,000 yards. But we had a bunch of receivers that played their role and played it well. Even when I was in Baltimore, myself and Anquan Bolden were both around 900 every year. No one went over 1,000. Ray Rice was close to it every year. We had that. And then obviously you guys know just a few years ago with Alshon and Ertz and and Nelly, those guys had some yards. So, it's one of those things where we get tied up in feeling like one guy has to do it all or one guy has to be the bell cow. But the reality of it is when it matters the most, do you have a guy that's going to be able to make the play? And when you have that spread out all over the field, that's the best situation. Because if you can go and you look at past Super Bowl winners, really minus Tampa Bay because of Mike Evans and really Cooper Kupp because of what he did last year. Before that, the last 8 to 10 years, there wasn't one true receiver that was this big physical mold because Julian Edelman, no one would have picked him you know, if you could buy a receiver off of Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, no one would have picked him out of that lineup. So
that's right.
To me, that balance is really what's been key over the years. And the teams that have won it over the past decade or so have typically had balance, not necessarily just one star receiver.
Torrey, we appreciate you jumping on with us, man.
Thank you,
and I'll tell everybody, follow him on Twitter at Torrey Smith WR. And also he's the president at Level 82 Organization Trending Thoughts That's Podcast. Right. Torrey, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for a couple minutes.
All right, thanks. Appreciate y'all having me.
All right, can we get you on during the season, bro?
He's gone, man. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's
driving down the highway, man. So
he is so well thought, man. And that guy gets it. Like, he could easily go into coaching if he chose to. You know,
right, no question.
Right. Yeah,
and he is so well versed on the mental health platform. I'd love to talk to him about that. He is very, very well spoken on that platform as well. And this dude is all over the place, man. He dabbled, politics, and he can talk a lot of different platforms with you.
Yeah, and was a huge part of that Super Bowl team. There is no question about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask him one more. I mean, I asked about the run game. Can he sustain a run game like that and win a Super Bowl? I mean,
yeah,
they had a pretty good running game when they went to the Super Bowl.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore.
And the
really
Eagles
good
too. Game. Yeah, I mean the Eagles sitting 17. Yeah, unfortunately he had to run, but yeah, I'm with you, Barrett. And hopefully we'll get him back on when this thing gets real, which isn't all that far away. Believe it or not, we're getting close, man. What are we?
Sweet.
Geez, today's the 16th, so we are 15 and 11. We're only 26 days away, man. We're getting close. We are getting close. That's for sure. Yeah,
do you guys think when I'm sitting there looking down at my phone, I'm not paying attention, man? I'm working the phone, bro. I'm checking people left and right, man. It's like great. People texting me. I'm like, hold up, I can't keep up.
I don't doubt you with guests. Okay,
man.
You got some good polls, man. You got some good polls. That's right.